Did you know that the video game industry almost crashed and burned in the early 80s? But thanks to a few iconic games, it not only survived but thrived. So what were these legendary games that saved the day? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take a nostalgic journey back to the 1980s, the golden era of arcade games and the birthplace of many gaming franchises we love today. We've curated a list of the top 10 video games of the decade, and you're in for a treat. These games aren't just chosen at random. They're the trailblazers, the games that introduced revolutionary gameplay mechanics, technologies, or concepts. They're the cultural phenomena that left an indelible mark on society. They're the games that, despite the limitations of the time, stood out for their exceptional graphics and sound design. They're the games that were loved by many and have withstood the test of time. Join us as we count down the top 10 video games of the 80s that left a lasting impact on the gaming world. Starting our countdown at number 10 is the exhilarating racing game, Outrun, released in 1986. Outrun wasn't just about speed, it was about style. With its iconic Ferrari Testarossa Spider and branching paths, it introduced a new level of choice and replayability to the racing genre. Did you know that its designer Yu Suzuki took a road trip across Europe to gather inspiration for the game's scenic routes? Talk about dedication. Moving along to our number 9 spot, we have SpyHunter from 1983. SpyHunter was a high-octane chase game that combined elements of racing and shooting, a unique blend at the time. Players guided a weapon-equipped sports car through various terrains, battling enemy vehicles and dodging obstacles. The game's innovation, the seamless transition between car and boat modes, which kept players on their toes and added a layer of strategic depth. A fun fact, the game's catchy theme tune is an adaptation of the Peter Gunn theme by Henry Mancini. And at number 8, we have Mega Man 2 from 1988. A sequel that outshone its predecessor, Mega Man 2 is often hailed as one of the greatest video games of all time. It improved on the original with new power-ups, tighter controls, and some of the most iconic levels and bosses in gaming history. The game's lasting legacy? It set the standard for all Mega Man games to follow, creating a blueprint for action platformers. And here's your fun fact. Mega Man 2 was almost never made. The first game wasn't a commercial success, but the developers pushed on with a sequel in their free time. And aren't we glad they did? These games were just the tip of the iceberg. Let's dive deeper into the gaming world of the 80s. Coming in at number 7 is the charming MsPac-Man, a game that took the world by storm in 1982. While it might seem like a simple maze game, MsPac-Man introduced a few key changes that made it stand out from its predecessor, Pac-Man. Notably, the game featured 4 different mazes, and the ghosts had more randomized movements, which added a layer of unpredictability and challenge to the gameplay. Fun fact, did you know that the game was initially developed without the approval of Namco, the original creator of Pac-Man? Quite the rebellious start. Moving on, at number 6 we have Metroid, released in 1986. This game was a game-changer in its own right, introducing a non-linear gameplay that encouraged exploration and backtracking. Metroid was one of the first games that allowed players to traverse an open world, setting the stage for many action-adventure games that followed. It also had an eerie, atmospheric soundtrack, which was quite innovative for its time. Here's a fun tidbit. The game's protagonist, Samus Aran, is revealed to be a woman at the end of the game, challenging gender stereotypes in video gaming. Next up, at number 5, we've got the classic Donkey Kong. Released in 1981, Donkey Kong was a pioneer in the platform game genre, featuring 4 unique stages that required players to jump over obstacles and climb ladders to rescue the damsel in distress. The game was also the first to feature the beloved character Mario, then known as Jumpman. Fun fact, did you know that the game was initially intended to be a Popeye game? However, due to licensing issues, the characters were replaced, resulting in the creation of Donkey Kong and Mario. From ghosts to gorillas, the 80s really had it all, but the best is yet to come. Cracking into the top 4 is The Legend of Zelda, a game that defined an entire genre in 1986. This action-adventure title from Nintendo introduced us to the world of Hyrule, a fantastical land of dungeons, dragons, and daring deeds. The Legend of Zelda was a pioneer of open-world exploration, allowing players to wander through the vast game world at their leisure. This freedom, combined with the game's complex puzzles and epic storyline, made it a smash hit. And let's not forget its legacy. The Legend of Zelda series is still going strong today, with over 20 titles to its name. Next up at number 3, we have a game that needs no introduction, Pac-Man. Released in 1980, this arcade classic had players guiding a hungry yellow circle through a maze, munching on dots and avoiding pesky ghosts. Simple? Yes. Addictive? Absolutely. Pac-Man was a cultural phenomenon, permeating pop culture with merchandise, a hit song, and even a television show. It's no wonder that this game has left such a lasting legacy, with its iconic characters and timeless gameplay still captivating players today. And who could forget Tetris, our number 2 pick? This puzzle game, created in 1984 by Russian developer Alexei Pajitnov, took the world by storm. Its simple yet challenging gameplay had players strategically rotating and arranging falling blocks to clear lines and rack up points. This game was a revolution, introducing a whole new genre of puzzle games and showcasing the potential of gaming as a form of mental exercise. Tetris's influence is undeniable, with countless spin-offs and variations released over the years. These games revolutionized the industry, but there's still one game that stands above the rest. Can you guess what it is? And the top spot goes to Super Mario Bros., a game that needs no introduction. Released in 1985, this game was a game changer, literally. It introduced us to the iconic duo Mario and Luigi and their quest to rescue Princess Peach. The gameplay was revolutionary, with its side-scrolling platform, power-ups, and secret passages. Not to mention, it was packed with catchy music and vibrant graphics that set a new standard for video games. Its legacy is undeniable, inspiring countless games and becoming a cultural phenomenon. So let's take a quick stroll down memory lane. From the thrilling car races in Outrun to the strategic block puzzles in Tetris and the epic adventures in The Legend of Zelda, these games defined the 80s and left an indelible mark on the gaming industry. And there you have it, the top 10 video games of the 80s. What's your favorite game from this era? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for journeying back in time with us.